Welcome, 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 welcome to the call. Appreciate you all for hopping on, taking time out of your afternoon to hop on today's call. Do know that a lot of you guys are at work, listening in from work. But we're gonna be, putting some things in motion for people who can get on during the day as well as evening training, so that we can compress time, right? So that you guys can get really equipped with more skills, so that you can really go ahead and take and make the most of this opportunity, both on the trading side and the business building side. I know a lot of y'all are like, a lot of these trainings that I personally do are on the business side, right? Here's why. The Academy has 6, 7, 8-figure traders who are here, who you are paying to teach you how to trade. Okay. You don't want to learn how to trade from me because I just started trading, less than 2 years ago. Learn from the educators. But what I can show you guys how to do is how to build the business and get some residuals in your pocket. All right. So today we're going to be talking about, this is our third day of our skills training, right? So our first skills camp was about what? Promotion, right? Promoting events, promoting calls. I'm really being a master promoter so that you can explode your business. The second skill, okay? The second skill that we have was edification and three-way calls, okay? If you're on this training, you've been on all the training so far, both of those trainings, drop a 1 in the chat. Okay, drop a 1 in the chat if you've been on both trainings so far. Okay, I see some ones coming in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all are the people who are plugged in. I love it. So today, our day 3, right? Our third day of skills camp is going to be on prospecting and personality types. Now, prospecting, right? We've talked about promotion and we've talked about edification. Those are 2 high-paid skills, right, in our business. But you can't build a business. You can't build an organization. You can't get people to join your business if you don't prospect. So prospecting is the fundamental activity that you've got to be doing every day. And if you want to really be really good at this, y'all, you got to get effective with your prospecting. All right. And today's training is going to show you how to maximize, how to get more people in front of the information, right? How to close more deals, how to get your team to grow, right? And what's powerful about when we talk about personality types today, guys, is going to help you work with the people that are already in your team, because now you understand what moves them, what motivates them, what they dislike, right? What doesn't move them. Because guys, one of the things you've got to understand is as we're prospecting and sharing this information with people, right? Remember that in our business, people is the inventory. Write that down. In our business, in networking, right? People are our inventory. In traditional business, you got products, right, that are your inventory. But here, people are our inventory. So we need people joining our business to be customers, and we also need to be developing the people that do join us to help them get results so that they can develop and share the information and bring in more people, right? So you've got to remember that. So if people are our inventory, we got to get really good at dealing with people. See, one of the challenges that most people have when they first get started in our business is they come in with this preset. They come in with this mindset that I don't like people. Right? And if you come in with the mindset of I don't like dealing with people, or I don't like people, guys, I'm sorry to say, but you may not get to the levels of finances that you want to. Here's why. Where does money come from? Drop it in the chat. Where does money come from? Where does money come from? A lot of y'all probably say money comes from trees, right? No, money comes from people. Money comes from people. Think about the cash you may have in your pocket right now. I'm a person, I never have cash. I don't have no money in my pocket right now, right? But think about if you had a $20 bill in your hand right now, or in your pocket, or in your wallet, ladies, in your purse. Where did that come from? That came from someone else. It came from people. That probably has been in circulation for the last 10 years. From person to person to person to person, it finally got in your hands. So money comes from people. Okay? Awesome, Christine. Big up. Okay? Money comes from people. So you got to shift your thinking and start to get better at dealing with people. You got to enjoy talking to people. You got to start loving people, because if you want more money, guys, you got to get better with people. So you might as well make that decision right now that, listen, I'm going to start liking dealing with people. Okay, you got to shift your thinking, all right? So the first couple of things that I want you guys to think about, we're going to talk about prospecting and personality types today, but we're going to go through a lot of information, so I hope you got your pens and papers, right? See, prospecting is our skill that we're talking about today. Our last skill that we talked about a couple of days ago was promoting. What does the first three letters of both of those words, which are two fundamental skills in our business, what is the first three letters of both of those words? Pro, right? Pro. So if you're prospecting and you're promoting, guys, and you want to be effective at both of those skills, you got to make a decision to become a professional. Write that down. If I want to make big money in this business, y'all, you cannot be an amateur. You got to make a decision today that I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a professional. I'm not going to be an amateur anymore. And if you think about professional sports, you think about anything. Who makes more money, amateurs or pros? Who makes the big bucks? Amateurs or pros? The pros do. So it's the same thing here in our business. If you want to make big money, guys, you got to become a professional. And how do you become a professional? You got to learn the skills. You got to get good at these skills. The great thing about our business is only a couple of skills you got to get good at. We talked about promotion. We talked about edification. Now we're talking about prospecting. Okay? So what I want you guys to understand today is that when you're prospecting, there's a couple things you got to be aware of. Okay? The first thing is you've got to have belief. Write that down. Drop that in the chat. Believe. Okay? Not believe, but belief. Right? You got to have belief. You got to first have belief in the products. You got to believe that what we do works. Okay? You got to believe that the products work. You know that the products work, even if you're new, even if you're not so new, and you're not making the kind of money you want to make trading. You know that the products work, don't you? Because it's working for someone else. Usually, if it's not working for you, there's something you're doing. Okay? I'll be honest with me when it comes to trading. Every time I blow an account, it's my fault. It really ain't the products. It's me. I decide to get greedy. I decide to over leverage. I decide to keep trading when I know I was supposed to stop. Right? So you got to understand and believe that the products work. You got to have belief in the products. Second thing you got to have belief in. You got to have belief in this company. You got to have belief in I am. And how do you build belief in I am? Is you get plugged in. If you're on this call and you've ever been to one of our events, you've ever been on a mentorship call, you've ever been on a training, you probably believe in the company. Because you've probably experienced something already that makes you believe. If you've grown, if you've evolved, if your mindset has shifted in any way since you've been a part of this company, then you know the company works. So you should have belief in the company. You got to have belief in this organization. Okay? You got to believe in what we're doing. You got to believe in the leadership. Right? I know a lot of you guys probably believe in me. I'm humbled by that, right? You believe in the fact that I've got a vision for what we're building and we're going to get there together. You've got to believe in that. And then the final thing you got to believe in, and it's the most important thing, guys, is you got to believe in yourself. You've got to build belief in yourself. Now, being a part of what we're a part of, you can't help but start believing in yourself because we're going to rub off on you. So if you're on this call and you've been in a week, you've been in a day, I promise you, give us some time. You're going to start believing in you because you won't be able to help it in this environment. But you've got to build belief in what we're doing here when you're prospecting, right? Because if you don't have belief, guys, when you open your mouth and talk to a potential customer, they don't buy it. They don't believe you. So if you don't believe in what you're doing, no one's going to believe in you. That's the first thing. So when you're prospecting, you got to build belief. And when we're getting new people started in the business, the reason that we want to get them a result really quickly is why? To build what? Someone drop it in the chat. Why are we so focused on getting someone results in their first 72 hours? Because it's going to build their belief. If we're able to build their belief, then they can transfer that belief to someone else. Then they can share the information. Guys, it's really tough for someone to share the information. Now, we can do it. It takes a special type of person, though, to be able to share the information when they really don't believe in it, right? Think about it. That's like a salesman, right? That's like you never want to come off to someone like as a used car salesman, because they know the car is a lemon. They don't really believe in it, but they can sell it to you anyway. You got to believe in what you're talking about to be authentic, to be genuine, for people to say, man, I believe in what you're talking about. I did a 3-way call yesterday for, or day before yesterday, maybe it was yesterday, for Miss Barrow, Sharice Barrow, with one of her prospects. And I was talking to her a little bit, and at a point she said, Sophie, listen, you don't have to say anything else. She said, I believe you. She said, I'm getting started. Because I believe so much in what we're doing, guys, that's going to be contagious. That's going to be transferred to everyone I speak to. If someone doesn't join my business, guys, I know it's not because of me. It's because of them. And that's how you got to get, when you become a professional and when your belief is so high, you know if someone doesn't join you, it wasn't you. You know it's them. And you can walk away. You can be like, maybe you're not a good fit. Okay? So you got to build belief. That's important. That's the number one foundation when you're prospecting. Yo, people don't believe in what we're doing right now.
You just start, because I just come on.
Hold on. If you don't believe in what we're doing, right, it's going to be really difficult for you to be able to share this information. Okay? Your belief will motivate, but it can also intimidate others. Yeah, sometimes your belief is so strong, your passion is so strong that people who aren't there yet, it can go two ways. They can either say, I got to get my stuff together, or they can say, hold up, wait, this may be a little bit too much for me. And either way, seed planting. That's all. That's all. And we're going to talk about the point of prospecting and all of this here in a second. But do you guys get me when I say you got to believe? Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? Awesome. A big part of belief, guys, and when you're talking, write this down on your phone, on your sheet of paper, big. I want y'all to write this on your sheet of paper, big, and I want y'all to take a picture. And when we're done actually, y'all can do it right now. Drop it in our Telegram. You got to write, pick up the phone. Y'all, you got to pick up the phone, because what allows people to understand and hear your belief is your tonality. Write that down. Tonality. People cannot hear tonality in text messages. It doesn't exist. Okay? Tonality is eliminated in text messages. That's why we always tell you, call someone, because someone, listen to me. If I was texting you guys this training right now, you would not hear the passion I have right now. You would not hear the excitement I have right now, sharing this information. It will be lost in the text message. The only way you guys can hear that I'm passionate, I believe in what I'm saying, is because you can hear me. So tonality is key. And if you're texting everything, there is no tonality. Write this down. Communication has 3 parts. Yo, this is important. When I learned this a couple of years ago, it blew my mind because it was so right. Like I knew it, but I didn't have it in these words, right? Communication has 3 parts. Okay, the first one is body language. Okay, 55% of your communication is body language. 55% is body language. The second thing, 38% is tonality. 38% of your communication is tonality. It ain't about what you say, it's how you say it. Only 7% of communication is the words that you're saying. Write that down, y'all. That's going to be a game changer for you after today. 55% of your communication is body language. It's your posture, right? It's how you sitting. That's why sometimes if someone just sitting like this, you automatically know they're not interested, even though you don't know. Or if someone's sharing something, if you're in a conversation with someone and their arms are folded, you get an automatic vibe of how they're communicating to you, and that's nonverbal. The way you speak. That's why a lot of times I tell you, it's so you've got to be aware of the way you speak, your tone, because even though you may be saying something, the way you say it, people don't hear what you say. They hear how you said it to them and how it made them feel. So your tonality is more important than what you say. Words are the least. Words are only 7%, guys. So think about animals. Let's think about an animal for a second. Okay, or babies. I'll use Tico for a second because he got the youngest baby on the call, right? Tico's baby can't understand words yet, right? But she can hear, she can tell his body language and she can tell tone. So if Tico says something in an aggressive tone, the baby probably start crying. She don't know what he said. She just heard how it was said. Same thing with animals, right? Animals don't speak English. But if I say to my dog, music, stop, my body language, my tone, he knows I'm serious. But if I say to him, music, stop, man, stop. He don't know that I'm saying stop. He just like, oh, she ain't. He ain't gonna listen because I'm not saying it aggressively. So you got to understand that your words are the least important. Your body language and your tonality is everything, y'all. That's how you communicate. And when you become aware of that, it's going to shift everything because now you're going to be mindful. So if you're in a conversation with a prospect, you can't be like so bored. I'm a pick on KK because she's a leader here and she can handle it. She's gonna kill me, but she gonna handle it. So that's why like sometimes we'll be at a, like when I was in Freeport the other day, we was at a presentation. She wasn't aware of it because she was kind of in the cut, but we were doing the presentation and she was just like this. And I was like, no, you got to look excited because her body language, the prospects are gonna read it as she ain't even interested. So they ain't gonna be interested. So you got to make sure you're aware of that when you're communicating with people. You got to be excited. They got to hear enthusiasm in your voice. That's why you got to pick up the phone. All right. So the second thing that's important, which kind of ties into that, is posture. When you're prospecting, you got to have posture. And when I say posture, guys, I ain't talking about sitting up straight. Okay. That's one part of it. But what I'm talking about is you've got to have a positive self-image. What do you think about you? How do you see you? I want you to think about that for a second. How do you view yourself? Because how you view yourself is how other people view you. So I view myself as a millionaire. So guess what? In time, people got to see me that way. But if you're viewing yourself, and I have friends I have personal friends, guys who are around me all the time who struggle in this area. And I'm trying to help him get out of it, but it's a block in his own head, okay? I'm like, listen, you got to view yourself. You got to think higher of yourself because he's thinking, listen, man, I broke, I ain't got it. And he thinks, and then he believes everyone sees that. And that's what they see because that's how you see yourself. This ain't a fake it till you make it type thing, but this is you got to believe, you got to think highly of you. You got to create your own self-image of you. That's what creates posture. So you got to move in a way, right? You got to move in a way that like, man, I know it. Like you got to have belief. You got to have self-confidence. And that's what leads us to the next thing. You got to be confident, guys, when you're prospecting. You can't listen, you cannot reach out to someone like this. You can't say to someone, hey, what's up? Well, I just started this trading thing, right? And I mean, I don't know if it's gonna work for me, but I don't really know what's gonna happen. I mean, I think I should be able to make some money. Guys, the person like, why are you even doing that? You just need to get your money back, right? You want to make sure that you're confident. You can be brand new and you can say, listen, I just connected with this amazing group of entrepreneurs who are showing me how to make money from home. Like, I can't wait to see where I'm at in the next 60 days. You really should take a look at this because you probably could change your situation as well. Guys, the confidence there will make the person just pay attention. But the only way you're going to have confidence is what? You got to have belief. Is this making sense to y'all so far? Okay, so you got to make sure you ask yourself, how do you see you? Do you see yourself as, I ain't ready yet? That's gonna be conveyed when you speak. Okay, y'all got to start bossing up now, right? You a boss. Okay, you are a boss. If you are on this call, you are a boss. I want you to drop that in the chat. I'm a boss. Okay, I'm a boss. You're a boss. Okay, and you gotta stop, y'all. If you have to go in the mirror and just say that to yourself 100 times a day, I'm a boss. Listen, I'm a boss. I'm a boss, right? Program yourself, because if you start seeing yourself as a boss, guess what other people are gonna start seeing you as too? You a boss, baby. All right. So it's all about your posture. All right. The third thing when it comes to prospecting is you've got to have an understanding of people and how to communicate with them. Write that down. I've got to learn how to communicate with people. Guys, in school, they don't teach us how to communicate. They need to have more like emotional intelligence and communication classes in school. Because the only thing we learn how to do is say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Like that's as far as communication goes for us. We don't know how to communicate with each other, right? We don't. This hasn't been something that's been taught, but it's so critical. And that's why most people don't succeed at a high level financially. It's because they don't know how to communicate with people. So then they don't make money because money comes from who? Money comes from people. Okay? This is what I want everyone to understand. Okay, Chi-Chi say social emotional learning is her background. So Chi-Chi, we're gonna have you do a training on this deeper level, coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for stepping up. Remind me, okay? Because I will forget, but remind me. All right? Here's a fun fact. 5 years ago, y'all. Okay, so y'all see Tico posted online the other day that I was a DJ, right? So I used to DJ back in the day. But let me tell you all about me. I used to DJ, but I would never speak on the mic. I'm scared to death to talk. I would be there and mix it up now. I could handle myself on the turntables, but I was not going to say nothing. You better believe if I went somewhere to play, I had to find some DJ who was there to say, hey, hold the mic for me. Okay? Because I wasn't speaking. I was afraid to speak. So me being and evolving into who I am today, where I don't shut up, this is growth. Because I was silent. I was shy. My whole childhood, I never spoke hardly. Okay? I was silent. When I got into DJing, I was in the limelight in that sense, but I would not speak on the mic. Quiet, right? But as time progressed and I got introduced to this industry, and I saw that this was a vehicle to get me to my goals, because I thought the only way I was going to be rich was if I was a P. Diddy or something, like I was a rapper or a producer or something, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, that's how my love for music developed, because I wanted to be a rock star, so I thought I had to be like a rapper or something. But because I was so quiet and shy, I knew I wasn't going to be holding the mic. I said, let me start DJing, and then I started producing. I started recording. So I wanted to be in the industry. I just didn't want to be in the spotlight, right? Because I was afraid to talk. But when I saw this industry, I saw that the odds were a lot less. I didn't have to be one in a million, like the best producer in the entire world, but it could give me the lifestyle and the type of income that I wanted. So I saw that they said that the people who are best with people and the people at the front of the room were the people who made the most money. So you know what had to happen for me? I said, I got to figure out how to be at the front of the room. I got to get over my fear of speaking to people, because it's either you got to compete with a million other rappers out here, right? Or musicians out here, or you get really good at this. You step out of your comfort zone. You develop some new skills. And y'all, that's what happened. See, I heard that the person who's the best with people make the most money. So I made a decision that I was going to get good with people. And that's what you got to make a decision with today. Get good with dealing with people. Get good at communicating with people. It ain't that difficult, y'all. The only thing that makes it difficult is that mental block or that self-limiting belief you've already put on yourself saying you don't like people. Change it right now. Say, I like people, okay? I like people. I like dealing with people. I love communicating with people. Make yourself love it. Guys, the thing that you hate most, force yourself to start liking it. And guess what? Eventually you will like it, and then you're going to be good at it. But it starts with that decision. You just got to decide, listen, I'm going to get better at this in this area. Okay? So you got to have an understanding of people and how to communicate with them. So what are the 3 foundational things you need to be aware of when prospecting? You got to have belief. You got to have posture and confidence. And then you've got to understand people and how to communicate with them. So that's going to lead us into the second part of this training, which is about the personality types. Y'all get pen and paper. We're going quick. But this is going to be a game changer for you when you're prospecting. Okay? This is going to be a game changer for you. When we're going through these different personality types, there's a couple things I want you to keep in the back of your mind. So you might want to jot these little things down, while we're going through it. You got to understand, as we're going through these different personality types, I want you to identify which personality type is you. Okay? Now, everyone has 2 dominant personalities. See, we've all got all of these traits within us, but there's 2 that really stand out. Okay? There's 2 that really, really stand out. And while we're going through this, I want you to write down which 2 you are. Okay, so you want to first identify your personality type. Okay, and then I want you to think about some of the people in your team that you're currently working with. Figure out what personality type they are. And when you start to identify their personality types, you understand why some things you do works and some things you do with them don't work. Because if you're trying to motivate someone the wrong way, it's not going to work. And we're going to go through this here in a second. Okay, guys, this is going to be good for you with your children. If you understand your kids' personality types, your significant other, right? Understand their personality type at your job, your coworkers, your managers, your bosses. This is going to be a game changer. This is almost like the cheat code that most people don't even know exists. But you guys are getting the sauce right now. Y'all ready for the sauce? If y'all ready for the sauce, say sauce in the chat. Okay? Sauce. Okay? If y'all ready for it, drop sauce in the chat. All right, y'all ready? Y'all on point today. Awesome. Okay, so the first personality type. The first personality type we're going to talk about. And guys, we're going to be using seasons, okay? The seasons. Some people use animals. Some people teach this training using colors. But the reason we're going to go with seasons, two reasons. One is what my mentor taught me, and I don't deviate. Okay? So my mentor taught me seasons. I'm going to teach y'all seasons. But the second reason we prefer the seasons is because when it comes to colors, when it comes to animals, right? There's so many different options that people can say, why is it blue and not red? Why is it a dolphin and not a lion, right? With seasons, there's only 4. Summer, winter, fall, spring. All right, that's it. So the first personality type we're going to talk about is a fall. Okay, write that down. Fall. These people, okay, guys, are very, very detailed. Okay, falls are very, very detailed. Okay, they ask a lot of questions. They're analytical. They need to know every single detail. They need to know all of the facts. Okay? And I want you to keep these things in mind when you're talking to prospects. Anyone had a prospect who had a million questions, right? And they needed every single detail. Like they wanted to know, is it $200 or $199.95, right? They're analytical. See, and when you start to identify what season your prospect is, you're not going to be annoyed. You just know what they are and you know how to deal with them. Okay? So falls are very detailed. They're methodical. They're analytical. They ask a lot of questions. They need to know all of the facts, right? Falls are usually very professional, right? They're really, really good listeners. Okay? They have high standards, sometimes too high of a standard, which makes them very critical of other people. Okay? So falls are critical of other people. These are the people who are going to be your skeptics, your cynics, right? Because they need all the details. And if you can't provide them with all the details, it's a red flag. Falls are overly cautious. They take forever to make a decision. Okay? They're slow decision makers. Falls, during a presentation, those are the people who sit like this. No emotion. Okay? They're very rigid. These are fall personalities. Anyone ever experience anyone like this or know anyone like this? I see Anita says Cephas, right? Cephas, if you're on the call, bro, you are a fall. No, but I can tell that from his personality from our conversation. I'm a fall. Okay? One of my dominant personalities is fall. I'm a fall. I'm analytical, right? That's why I like to do training, right? Chichi, I'm a fall and I'm born in the fall too, right? See, and you're gonna start to, as we go through these, you're gonna start to see which personality type do you have more traits of, right? So that's a fall. So when you're prospecting a fall or someone who falls into this category, you got to show them the facts. You can't be too hype and too excited. Y'all know I'm a hyper person. I'm really energetic. But when I'm talking to a fall based on the conversation, I got to mimic them. If they speak slowly, I got to slow it down, right? Because if I'm too fast, they think I'm scamming them because that's that cynic or that criticalness that they have. Okay, so with the falls, you don't show them hype. They don't care about the fact that we are a family and right, we love each other, and they care about how long will it take before I can compound my money, you know, and how long do I have to pay this tuition for, and what's the exact amount that I have to come up with, you know, on sign up, and you know, what's the percentage rate of accuracy? That's a fall. Okay. So you want to show them the facts. You want to show them the numbers. You want to tell them that we've got artificial intelligence software that scans patterns in the markets that's going to help you be more efficient and more effective, right? You want to give them the facts. Here's another thing. Speak slowly when you're talking to falls. Okay? Speak slowly when you're talking to falls. Falls need security and stability. Okay? That's what a fall personality type is looking for. So if you're prospecting someone about our business or our opportunity and they're a fall personality type, they don't care about the fact that we go into Atlanta for the Dream Convention. They're like, so what? Right? Another thing to keep in mind when you're prospecting a fall is you cannot rush them to make their decision. You know, if you tell them a promotion is happening, they don't care. They've got to go through the details with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that this logically makes sense to them. Do you guys now have a better understanding of a fall personality type? Do you think now, just based on this short little training, you can start to identify someone who's a fall personality? Yes or no? Awesome, awesome, yes. So now you got to look at your prospects and figure out, like, and I'm going to show you how you're going to get to know their personality type, right? It's through asking questions. When you ask them questions based on how they answer a question. Like the other night on our call with Malik's prospect, right? The guy who was like super slow. Now he was not a fall, right? He just was out of his mind. I'm teasing y'all, right? He just was high. But based on that conversation with him, by the end of this training, we're going to figure out what personality he was. I don't want to give it away yet because we haven't gone through the others, all right? But that's a fall. The second personality type, okay? The second personality type we're going to talk about is going to be a summer, okay? Summer. Now, summers are the best networkers that you can have in your business. Here's why. They love to have fun. They're outgoing. They're the life of the party. They're big dreamers. They're very optimistic. They are extremely social, okay? A summer can talk to a brick wall. A summer will talk to anyone. So yes, Roxy is a summer, okay? Jerusha, you are a summer, right? A summer will walk up to anyone and say anything. So they are the best networkers because they'll prospect anyone. They ain't scared, okay? They're the best networkers in your business. Now, you want summers in your business because they're not afraid. They're social, and we're a networking business, so you need people who aren't afraid of people. But guys, you need all personality types in your business because if you had all summers in your business, the only thing that would be happening is fun, right? The summer's just gonna be partying. They're like, Sophie, we going to Atlanta? Where are we going? Where to turn up at? Where to spot at? Right? You almost have to remind them now. Remember, we have training at 9 in the morning, okay? They're social, they're outgoing. They're having a lot of fun, okay? I see that the chat is going crazy with summers. Mo, Felicia, Tico, right? Jerusha, they're summers. They are the life of the party. They got good spirit. They're high-spirited, right? Here's something about summers that you're gonna realize. Here's some, the cons to the summers. Summers are usually very unorganized, okay? They're too talkative. They talk a lot, okay? They don't listen well. They're poor listeners. And sometimes their goals could be a little unrealistic. The summers are the people who say they're going chairman in 72 hours, right? Now, that's possible, but it's not probable. But those are some of the things to think about on the flip side of a summer. So they're extremely social. Sometimes maybe a little too social. If you're on the phone with a summer and they start talking, you don't interrupt. Just let them talk because they got to get it out. Okay? Let them go. The summers, you want to tell them about the trips that we take. You want to tell them about how, we get lit at the events, right? You want to tell them how, that people are making this amount of money because they care about the flash. They care about the lifestyle, okay? They want to hear the fact that we got 24-year-olds making 187 grand a week. They care about that stuff. They love the hype. So you want to tell them the stuff that's hype. You don't want to tell a summer too much information because they're going to be bored. Shout out to Felicia, one of our newest, traders on the team. Me and her were on a call yesterday. She was like, Sophie, the dude doing the videos, he's just too boring. I can't. So you know what I told her? I said, you need to be on Millie Mills and DL Wood's session because they hype. You're going to love them. And you better believe she's going to love them. See? And it wasn't that I was like, oh my God, this girl doesn't want to listen. No, she's a summer. She needs fun. So I got to plug it into a fun educator. Okay? So you just got to be able to sift and sort through people to know who they are. Is this making sense so far? Guys, summers, they wear loud colors. They do a lot of crazy stuff with their hair. They'll wear the orange and the yellow sneakers. Be honest, summers love the spotlight. Okay, they love to be seen. Okay, summers, that's just their personality. So sometimes you'll see a summer, and if you don't understand this stuff, you'll say, that person look like attention. No, it's just their personality type. Let people be who they are, right? So it's okay. You just got to identify who's who so you know how to deal with them. Okay, so we got the falls, we got the summer. Okay, the next one we're going to deal with, guys, is spring. Okay, spring. Springs, okay? I also call them the caring Candaces of the world. Springs are compassionate. They're understanding. They're empathetic, right? They want to help the world. These are the Mother Teresas of the world. They want to just help everybody. KK, if Raquel or anyone from Houston was on here, that's an Anya. Anya didn't care about Anya didn't care about chairman so much. She wanted to just help her people, right? She's a carer. She's always crying on the live. Anya, they got you. Anya, they've got you, okay? So these are the people who just care about other people. They're super reliable. They're dependable. Here's the thing, and it's so funny that we're talking about someone on the team because we can see it happen. The Springs are the people who, you know, if we have an event, they can make sure they bring water. So when you see Anya home eating, she have food and stuff, right? Because she want to make sure her guests could eat. I don't care if you eat, just come here, this information and go. I'm playing, y'all, I'm playing. But a spring is someone she's thinking about the whole process. Yes, Evie takes notes for the whole team and shares it with us, right? She's gonna do things because she cares about helping people. But these people are really important. Here's why, because they're the glue to the organization. Like, think about if you had all summers and all falls, you'll have a lot of fun and slow decision making. Ain't too much can get done. But a spring is going to be able to come in there with their next perspective of being understanding, right? They really want to help everyone. They're reliable, they're dependable. But here's the thing about spring. A spring may sacrifice their own results to help someone else. Springs will sacrifice. So Anya is the type of person, or anyone on the call, Evie, who's on the call, right? Basically what happens is if you want away from a rank, but one of your teammates went away from the rank, you'll give it to them and say, I'll get mine later, right? You sacrifice your own results to help someone else, but they can be overly sensitive, okay? They can sometimes be indecisive because they care so much, they can't make a decision, okay? Are you a spring? See, hearing these things, you guys are starting to identify what you are, right? So when you're talking to a spring, you can't talk to them about money. You can't talk to them about hype events. You can't talk to them about travel, right? What you've got to talk to a spring about is impact, vision, how we're going to change the world one person at a time, right? We got to talk about the unity and the love that we have. These are the people who care that we have a family environment. That's something they'd be like, I like that. Okay, I like that. Someone don't care about that. They don't care about no love and unity. They want to have fun. A spring, though, a spring wants to know that we're a unified group. We care about one another, right? We're impacting the lives of people. You want to tell them how our goal is to empower and educate, impact 1 million lives in the next 12 months, right? Those are the type of things that springs want to hear. Then we're going to move to our last one, okay? Here's the last season or the last personality type. These are your winters, okay? These are your winters. Now, just thinking of the word winter and thinking of the season winter, what do you think about really quickly? Cold. Think you hit it on the head, right? Winters are harsh and cold and brutal, okay? So here are your winters. Winters are the people who are very driven. They're goal-oriented. They're very aggressive. They are straight to the point. They're achievement-driven. They're very competitive. Okay? These are your winters. These people are impatient. They're short. They're blunt. They don't have a lot of running on to do. They get to the point. They're very demanding, and they can come off as being very controlling. Okay? Winters are usually poor listeners, right? They ain't trying to hear all that. And often seen as self-centered. Okay? Now, they're often seen as self-centered, not really because they want the spotlight like a summer, but because they need to get the job done. They need to get it done. That's it. That's all they care about. One of the big cons of a winter is they usually view the project more important than the people. Okay? They view the project more important than the people. So for me, you know, our mentor, Mr. Justin Owens, he's funny, he's a comedian, but when it comes to business, he's a winter. Here's why, because he cares about the goal. Sophie, how close are you to the next round? Okay, so this is what you got to do. Like Justin and I sleep in 4 days, get it done, right? He loves people, don't get me wrong, but the project is more important. David and Manitier, he's a winter. They're driven, they're goal-oriented. That's why every time the company has a call that's setting the goal for the company, who do they get to do it? David, because he's going to show you the numbers and he's going to tell you what's required to get it done. But you also see, he's always fresh to that, right? These are the people who, you know, they're going to be put together well all the time, right? Because they're kind of self-centered, okay? They're kind of egotistical. They're driven by money. Y'all write that down. That's a key for winters. They care about the money. So one of our leaders here, KK, she's a winter. If you've ever been to one of her in-person presentations, the part we always get her do is the part about the money. That's why she would tell you straight up, I don't trade, but I make residual low. She don't care about the software. She ain't care about none of that. Money. I need to be paid. And if you look at KK, she likes to dress up. Okay? That's her personality. She's a winter. Okay? They love the lifestyle. They love freedom. Okay? These are winters. These are the things you got to talk to winters about. You got to tell the winter about the money that can be made here. You got to tell them that you're connected to Mello Haynes, who's 30, who did 117,000 in a day. That's what they want to hear. You want to say, my mentor, Mr. David Imanite, has 3 Rolls Royces. That's the type of stuff they care about. Okay? The freedom, the challenges. You want to tell them Justin Owens bought a Bentley and a G-Wagon, right? Those are the type of things that, you know, winters care about. Okay? Now, guys, I want y'all to understand something because we got 5 minutes and I got to get off the call. 10 minutes max so I can let the presenters for 2 o'clock get on, right? Your goal, okay, the goal here is to be a chameleon. Your goal is to be able to communicate with all of these personality types. But you do have to identify what personality type you are. And then you got to get good at, through conversation, identifying what personality type your prospect is. Because once you identify who they are, you know how to talk to them. Okay? So remember, your goal here in prospecting isn't to really be the person who's just talking a lot. You are being a master sorter. Okay? A sorter. We are literally sifting and sorting through people and having conversations and finding out what category we put them in. So if you talk to 10 people today on Facebook or Instagram, you got to say, okay, summer, winter, fall, spring, summer. Now you know what categories they're in. You know how to approach them. See, a lot of us, and I had to learn this, most of us are going wrong or we're not getting the results that we get in this business is because we're talking to everyone the same. You talking to summers or you talking to falls or springs because you're a winter or a summer, you telling them about the money and they don't care about that. So you ain't even connecting. So you got to identify what personality type they are so you know how to have the conversation. Okay? Does that make sense? So I want y'all to really understand that the money in this business is found in the relationships. And a part of the relationship is identifying what personality type you're dealing with. This is always going to be good for the people you're working with who are already in your business. See, some people in your team, they're spring, right? They're spring or they're a fall, and you telling them, listen, we got a promotion. You only 2 away to the next rank. Let's make it happen. But they're a fall. They need to know exactly how much volume they need to be a fall, so that don't even move them. You know, you're talking to a spring. They don't care about their own rank. They want to know how they can help their team. So you got to have a different conversation with them. You're going to say, listen, if you know they're 2 away from their goal, right? But you can say to them, listen, you got 2 people in your group who are 1 person away from platinum 150. Let's help those 2 go platinum 150 so we can help them get their goals done. Guess what? That's going to move them to help the people, but by helping the people, they're helping themselves. But if you were to just say, hey, you only 2 away, let's close it out. They don't care about themselves. But you talk about helping their people, that shifts the whole game. Okay, so you got to start to understand who you have in your group, what their personality type is, so you know how to communicate with them to get them to move. You can't get people to move based on what's going to get you to move. So I can go to Tico and I can say, Tico, listen, Tico, you 3 people away from platinum 2000, bro. I don't know what we're going to do. Let's get it done today. And Tico can just flip. Let's go. Because he's competitive. He's a summer winter. You know, he has them both. He's competitive, but he loves fun. Right? So I know I can say, Tico, let's get it done. I can't wait to drop your flyer, bro. Like, I got the best flyer for you ever. Right? He wants that. He wants that flyer to drop. So that'll move him. More than if I said to him, Tico, listen, we got 3 legs and you need like 2 more people in 1 leg, and we're going to structure it this way. Sophie, that's too much. What I need to do. Okay, let's just go get 3 people. The conversation is going to be different. Okay? This is making sense, guys. Drop some 7s. So just remember this. Your list, okay? Your list is your capital. Remember, in our business, our inventory is our what? Our list, the people. So I want you to start writing new lists and revisiting your list now. The list that you currently have, now start sorting these people. Figure out what personality types they are, because now you're going to approach them a little different. If you got a spring personality, you know that you may need to get them on a Sunday mentorship call. That's more spiritual. That's more mindset. Right? They might need all the facts. They need to see the impact. They need to see that we're helping people personally develop. That may get them into business faster than them seeing Mr. Imanite jumping out of roles. Like my mom, she don't care about the cars. That turns her off. So I can't show her lifestyle or too much money. That's a red flag for her. But if I show her personal development, if I show her the community of people and how people are growing, that's a trigger. So it all depends. So I want y'all to kind of write these things down. This is going to be quick, guys, and I'm going to post the recording, and I'm going to post this recording today, okay? I want you to write on your list, because we're all going to be building new lists, myself included. Who do I know that's successful in some way? When I say successful, guys, I don't mean just money. Who do you know that's a successful DJ? So on my list, when I first was joining, Tico was on my list. I needed Tico in my business because he's successful in his arena. And he also has a high level of influence. So you want to say, who has a high level of influence? Guys, start thinking about people at your church, people at your job, people who people listen to, right? And then identify their personality type and then figure out how we're going to approach them. Who's a people person? Who's a socialite? Who's someone who's the life of the party? That's why I wanted my friend Matt in my business, because Matt loves people. He's a summer. He's gonna talk to everyone. Matt works at the airline, and on every flight, he prospecting the people. I don't mind. They might, but I don't. But that's his personality type. So you want people who have all of these personality types, okay, on your team, all right, in your business. Who needs a better life? Who needs this? Who has credibility? Whose name holds some weight? Just because they are who they are, people buy into what they're doing, right? Who has contacts? Who has a large network? That's why I want to really tap into some religious leaders. I want ministers. I want pastors, because they have a contact of church members who they have credibility and influence with. So if we can get the pastor to see the vision, the whole congregation will. So write down some of these people that you know in your community. Who's currently an entrepreneur? Who already understands entrepreneurship? Okay? These are some people you want to put on your list. And the whole purpose, guys, okay, is to sort your list until you find the right people. See, our goal here isn't to sign everyone up. The goal of the list isn't to sign up everyone on your list, you know. The goal of your list is to just sort through the list to find out who could possibly be the right person. but we're going to talk to all of them, but don't expect them all to join. See, a lot of times, a lot of y'all get discouraged because you got a list and ain't no one joining. They ain't the right people yet. You still in your sorting process, okay? This is a sorting game. Last nugget. I got more, but we're going to take it for another. Maybe we'll finish this call later on tonight. But I want y'all, for the sorting part, I want to give y'all this percentages, and that's it. Okay? This is a sorting game. This is the expectation for sorting through your list. 20% of your lists are going to be just negative. They're going to be straight up negative. They're going to be skeptics. They're going to find something to say bad about what you're doing, no matter how good it is. Okay? These 20% of the people who you find a cure for cancer, and they can say, but how you know it work? That ingredient is not good. Didn't you know? You saving people's lives and they still find something bad to say. Some people are just negative. They're negative Nancy's. 20% of your list. If you got 100 people on your list, 20 of them are going to just be straight up negative. Expect that. 67% of your list, okay? 67% of your list are what we call posers. They're going to act like they can do something. Okay, y'all, I'm sure if you've been in the business more than 30 days, you've run into some of them, right? Who act like they're going to just blow this thing up and they do nothing. Okay? 67%, that's almost everyone, y'all. 67% are going to act like they're going to do something. 10% actually want and need the opportunity. These are the people who actually want this. They just need the guidance. They need the mentorship. They can be developed. That's 10%. So out of y'all list, 100 y'all realizing this. 20 of them going to be negative. Just throw them away. 67% of them going to act like they ain't into nothing. 10 of them are actually going to want to do it. They just need your help. They need your guidance. But only 3%, only 3 out of your 100 guys are going to be superstars. That's it. See, a lot of us think all 100 are going to be superstars. No, 3 out of the 100 are going to be superstars. 10 of them are going to be people you could actually work with. The rest of them, they're just on the list for you to sort through them. But expect that. Now you ain't tripping. Now you ain't thinking you building your list wrong. Now you ain't thinking all of your prospects are garbage, right? You just realize what category they're in. So not only do you have to sort through their personality types, you also got to sort through where they are in the sorting process. Are they negative? Are they posers? Are they someone who can be developed? Or are they superstars? That's what you got to find out. And you got to always be adding to your list. And I think I'm going to do a part 2. I think this was valuable today, right, guys? I have another page of notes that I think is really important to kind of close this all together on how you can always be adding to your list and how to do a better job getting people from the prospecting stage on a presentation, and then how to actually follow up and close the deal. Okay, so I think this was good, guys. What I want y'all to do, we're gonna hop off because Evie and Pam are about to smash the 2 p.m. call. If you got guests, follow up with them now and get them on the call. But what I want everyone to do, based on this training today, in the Planets and Stars group, go ahead and drop your 2 dominant personalities. Based on this training, which 2 I put number 1, so I can know you're dominant. Number 2, I can know you're subdominant. And let's go ahead and drop those personality types in the group. And then I want you to do this exercise with your teammates. You know, go ahead on your own piece of paper and figure out what personality types are all the people on your team, and maybe some of the prospects who are now in your pipeline. So now you know how to change your approach to get better results. All right. So I appreciate y'all for hopping on, man. I hope this was valuable. Thanks for hopping on. You know, in the middle of the day, let me go ahead and take a quick screenshot for my Instagram. Y'all know how I do. We got to post what we're doing. But y'all, tonight, we're going to go ahead and have an 8 o'clock call that I'm doing. Okay. 8 p.m. presentation, the 9 p.m. presentation with Mr. Owens. And maybe we'll do a late night training at 10 to finish up this training. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man, for hopping on. Y'all have an incredible day.
Hold on, take the picture over. I wasn't ready.
Oh, you wasn't ready? Hey, go ahead. See, look
No,
at
baby.
look at the sum up. Y'all see the sum up? Come on. All right. I got you, Felicia. No,
okay, baby.